Hello retouchers, so welcome to my channel once again. So in today's tutorial, we are going to be retouching this amazing picture right here, okay? So I will take you guys step by step on how I retouch this picture and get these results right here, okay? So, but before we start, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do well and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so YouTube will notify you anytime I drop another tutorial. Okay, so without much ado, let's start. So this is before and this is after. So I'm going to be retouching this picture and also color grade this picture, skin tone this picture to this melanin skin tone right here. Okay, so and to do that, we'll be making use of frequency separation. And for this sake of this tutorial, this is a step-by-step tutorial, okay, for beginners and for pros. So I'm not making use of my advanced frequency separation or my all-in-one retouching preset here. Okay, so we are doing this thing from scratch. Okay, so if you're a beginner watching this tutorial, so you can know how you can create your frequency separation 8-bit from scratch. Okay, so without using any preset. Okay, but preset is nice also to make your work fast and easy, because not every time you will be starting all these things ahead. Okay, so but for the sake of this tutorial, let's create from scratch. Okay, so and to create the frequency separation from scratch, we have to duplicate our image twice. Okay, and before we do that, remember what we are creating is frequency separation, and frequency separation is just a technique we use in separating the texture from the tone. Okay, putting them in two different layers. So when we are working on the tone, it will not affect the texture. Okay, so the tone of the picture is the color you are looking at. The texture is the texture of the picture. All these pimples you are seeing, they are on the texture. Okay, so we want to separate the texture and the tone, put them in two different layers, and that is what frequency separation is all about. And to separate that, you will duplicate your image twice, Ctrl J or Command J if you're using Apple, twice. Okay, so the first copy here, the first copy right here is we serve as our tone copy, our tone, which is the low frequency. Okay, so now rename it to tone. Okay, so right here, the second copy right here, we serve as our texture, which is the high frequency. So I will rename it to texture. Okay, so and now the next thing to do right here is to add blur on the tone layer. Okay, the blur that will enable the picture to smoothen when we are retouching the picture. Okay, so and to do that, we will turn off this texture layer. Okay, so or the texture layer is above the tone layer, so if we didn't turn it off, it will be covering the tone layer. So when we are applying the blur, we will not be seeing the effect. So to avoid that, we turn it off. Okay, so now we're on the tone layer. So we go to filter and we go to blur, then we go to Gaussian blur. Okay, so here, this is where some retouchers find it very, very difficult. Okay, so here in Gaussian blur, it doesn't really have any specific amount of blur for every image. It depends on the image you are working on. Okay, so what you focus on as a retoucher is the amount of blur that will blur your picture. As you can see, this picture is blur, and you'll still be seeing your textures. The amount of blur that will not kill the textures. Okay, so as this picture is now, this 8 radius is okay for this picture. If I put it on 10, it's still okay, as you can see. So 10 blur this picture and we are still seeing the textures. Okay, so I will leave it on 10. Okay, so I click OK. Okay, so as you can see, this picture is blur right here. So now we make the texture layer active. Remember, we turn off the texture layer to apply the blur on the tone. So now we have applied the blur on the tone layer. So let's make the texture layer active. Okay, now the texture layer is active. Okay, now we'll go to image and apply image. So right here, this is where we are going to move all the textures and that tone layer to the texture layer. Okay, so all the textures on this image will be on one layer. Okay, so here, once you get to apply image here, this is where you do the necessary settings. Remember, the settings for 8 bit is different from 16 bits. So what we are doing right here is for 8 bits. Okay. So what you do in here, that the right layer. Yeah. So you choose the tone layer. Okay. Any name that you name your tone layer is what we show here. So we choose the tone layer. Remember, we want to move all the textures here to the texture layer, all the textures on this tone layer to texture layer. So we choose the tone layer here. So our color channel is RGB. It's okay. So the blending here, we change it to subtract. Okay. So you look for subtract right here. So, and click on subtract. So once you click on subtract, make sure that your opacity is 100. Your scale is on 2. Your offset is on 128. So this is the settings. You make sure that you get accurate here. Here, your layer will be on tone layer, the tone layer. Your channel will be RGB. Your blending will be on subtract. Your opacity will be on 100. Your scale will be 2, and your offset will be 128. So once you get these settings accurate this way, you click OK. Okay. So right here, you get these results this way. Okay. So the next thing to do, you will change the blending mode of this texture. Okay. From normal to linear light. Yeah. Okay. So once you change it to linear light, it will change automatically to normal. Okay. So now right here, we have separated the texture and put it in its own layer. Then the tone is on its own layer also. Okay. So this is frequency separation right here. Okay. So these two layers now, the tone and the texture, they are the frequency separation. Okay. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm making this tutorial for the beginners and for the pros. So if you are a beginner, you have to duplicate your tone. Okay. So Ctrl J. So once you duplicate your tone this way, you right click and create a clipping mask. Okay. So, or you hold your alternative on your keyboard, then move your cursor in between the two layers, the main and the copy. You'll see your cursor will change to clipping arrow. You just click on it. Okay. To clip it together. Now you have clipped this, the tone and the tone copy together. Yeah. Okay. The same way you duplicate the texture layer, Ctrl J. So as you can see, as we duplicate the texture layer, the image becomes more sharper. Okay, because all the textures on this image is on this layer. So it's just like you duplicating textures. It becomes more sharper. Okay. And if you are trying to clip it, create a clipping mask, once you clip it together, it will become more sharper, you know. So, and to move it to normal, you change the blending mode of this copy to normal instead of linear light. Okay. So now as you change it to normal, as you have seen, the picture is looking normal now. Okay. So now we have to group these layers together. So I make this texture copy active, hold my shift and click the tone. Then I've highlighted all of them, then Ctrl G to group them together. So this is their group. So this group, I will name it FX, which stands for frequency separation. Okay, so this is our frequency separation right here on 8 bits. So this is how you can create your frequency separation from scratch if you're working on 8-bit image. Okay, so now let's move to our mixer brush because we are using mixer brush to retouch this picture. Okay, so this is our mixer brush right here. So this mixer brush right here, you always make sure you are on soft round brush. Okay, so under the general brush here, it's a general brush. Always make sure you are on soft round brush. Okay. So here, your mixer brush settings here, this brush right there, once you click on it, always make sure you are smoothing is active. Turn off the rest. Always turn on smoothing. Okay. So, and here, always make sure you are on clean brush here. And this first brush here, turn it off and turn on the second brush. Always make sure you are on custom. Now, this is wet, load, mix, and flow. Okay, so these things right here, if you increase them, your brush will be flowing much. Okay, so it will be flowing much and it will spoil your picture. So you will decrease them the accurate way you can control, the way that you flow much when you are brushing. Okay, so This is the settings I'm using to retouch this picture. My weight is on 70, my load is 60, my mix is 100, my flow is 60. Mix can be on 0, mix can be anything, mix doesn't matter, okay? So, but as a beginner watching this tutorial, I will advise you to put your weight on 30, your load 30, your mix 30, your flow 30, okay? So that way, you will not spoil your image. Also, if you put it on 30, 30, 30, and if you are retouching, it seems as if nothing is happening, you can as well increase it to 40, 40 or 50, 50. So you get to the amount that is working for you perfectly. Okay. So now let's retouch this picture right here. Okay. And when you are retouching your picture, always make sure if you are working on low, if you are working on highlights, remain on highlights. If you're working on shadow, remain on shadow. Okay. So this 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 is the, let me show you guys something. Sorry. So this is the highlight side of this particular picture. This places that has more highlights, you know. So these places that has more highlight, they are the highlight side, and the places that are more darker is this dark shadow part of the image. So if you are brushing on the highlight side of the image, always remain on the highlight side. If you are working on the shadow part, remain on the shadow part, okay? So now let's retouch this image. And when you are retouching, retouch according to the shape of the face or the body you are working on, okay? So now, as you can see, the way the face is this way, that's how I will brush. Okay, so now let's retouch this picture. You can see the way I'm working on it. And see the way I'm retouching. So this is how you brush. Let me show you guys something also. Let me show you guys something. So this is how you brush. You can see either you brush this way or you brush circle, 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 circle. Okay? Don't brush this way like this. If you brush like this, you will spoil your image. Okay? Unless you are working a place like this that is curved like this, and this is how you brush. Like I said, you move according to the shape of the face. Anywhere that is curved, you move the way the place is. Okay? So now let's continue retouching this picture. So, and also remember to always increase and decrease your brush size, depends on the area you are working on. And to increase and decrease your brush size, use your right and left bracket key on your keyboard. As you can see right here, I'm working on the highlight part. So I will remain on the highlight part. So if I'm working on the highlight part, I will use the highlight part to work on the highlight part. I will not move the highlight part to the shadow part, and I will not move the shadow part to the highlight part. If you do that way, you will spoil your image. And also pay attention to every details on this image. And remember, we are retouching this image to beautify her, not to change her from what she looks like. Okay, so we'll try everything possible to make it look realistic after retouching. Okay, so as you can see right here, if you are retouching, always make sure that you'll be checking your before and after. So as you can see right here, this is before and this is after. As you can see, so there are changes there. So let's continue. Okay, we need to fix her to be more beautiful. Okay, so this is how you work. You follow the structure of the skin. Okay, you can see the way I'm following the structure of the skin, the structure of the face, the body. Any picture you are working on, just follow the structure of the body. Okay, so this is, yeah, follow the structure, yeah. So always remember to go all over and over again to mix to your satisfaction. Don't be afraid to return all over and over again. Okay. So this is the cheek right here. Let's work on this cheek. You can see the way the face move. That's the way I'm moving. So remember, when you are working, don't be like me. Don't be in a hurry. This is video, so I wouldn't want this video to be much longer. Okay, that's why I have to retouch it. I have to apply speed. Okay, but if you are retouching yours, if you are retouching any picture, mostly if you are a beginner, always make sure you take your time. Don't rush while retouching. Take your time and fix the image you are working on. So if you're watching this tutorial and you love what you are seeing, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have a suggestion of any video that you want to see on this channel, please feel free to drop it in comment section. I will do the video. And if you need my all-in-one retouching preset right here, you can check my channel description for it. Remember, I'm not using my preset on this tutorial because this is step-by-step all-in-one tutorial. So I do it from scratch. Okay. So if when you're working on picture, always make sure you check your before and after. Before and after. Okay. Always check your before and after to know if you're actually getting it right or not. Okay, guys, this is before and after. As you can see, we've done a whole lot of work right here. Okay, so now we'll mix this picture more. Okay, but first let's pick some of the pimples. Some of the pimples here. Okay, so let's pick it out so the picture will be free from pimples. So we know where we'll mix more. Okay, so and to pick it, remember we separated the textures from the tone, so they are in two different layers. So and the pimples are on textures layer. Okay, so now this is texture layer, we make it active. Okay, so now we pick our clone stamp tool right here. Okay, so yeah, I'm on soft round brush. Okay, so my opacity is 100, my flow is 100. Okay, so I zoom to the spots that I want to remove. Okay, so increase the brush size depending on the spot you want to remove. So this is how you remove. You sample from the good side and use it and paint on the spot to remove it. And to sample, you click your alternative together with left click on your keyboard to pick it. So once you pick it, you release the alternative and paint on the pimple that you want to remove, or wrinkles or line or blemishes, anything at all you want to remove from the picture. This is how you remove it. So once you click alternative and left click on your mouse, alternative and left click on your mouse together, then you release the alternative, then paint on the spots that you want to get rid of. That is how you remove it. So you're going to take time and remove this spot. Remember, the face was full of pimples, so we really need to clean it so we know if we are going to mix the picture more or not. So as you can see right here, the face is looking flawless now. Okay, so this is the before and this is after. Before, after. Okay, so now let's mix the face a little. Let's mix the face a little. Okay, to get to the results that you're looking for. Okay, so okay, so this picture is looking nice. This picture is looking nice this way, and this is before, after, before, after. Okay, so what I will do again is to clean the eyes. Okay, I need the eyes to be more whiter. Okay, so and to do that, remember I said I will not be using any of my all-in-one presets here. Okay, so I will, to clean the eyes, I will create a black and white adjustment here. So here, the layer of the black and white here, I will invert it, the mask side, Control I. Okay, invert simply means to hide. Okay, so now I'll pick my brush tool. My foreground color, white is up, black is down. Opacity here, up here is on 100, flow is on 100. Okay, so I paint only on the white side of the eyes. Remember, I want it to be more whiter. So only on the white side of the eyes. Okay, so I duplicate the black and white layer here, okay, and change the copy blending mode. So I move, okay, I put it on screen, okay, because I want it to be more whiter, okay. So it's on screen right here, right now, okay. So now I drop the opacity, depends on the result I want to get. So I don't want it to look artificial, so I drop the opacity. So something like this is okay. So now I will merge it together with a frequency separation. Okay. So now this picture is looking beautiful. So the next thing I will do right here is to duplicate this picture, Control J. Okay. So now to skin tone this picture, I'll be making use of one of my skin tone inside my 6 shades of melanin skin tone. Okay. So I'll go to my color lookup here. So I go to load 3D color lookup. Okay, so right here, this is my 6 shades of melanin skin tone. This is different shades of melanin skin tone. Okay, so let me check the third shade there. Okay, so which is this? This is the third one there. Small, beautiful. This is the one I use for the picture. Okay, as you can see right here. So the next thing I will do is to merge it here. Then I duplicate it, Control J. Then I'll take this picture again to camera raw filter. So I'll do some final adjustments there. Okay, here we are in camera raw filter. So I will go to the color here. So here in color here, I move this temperature to blue a little because I want this picture to be a dark skin retouch. Okay. So here I add a little highlight there. Okay, so Now I move to detail here and add a little sharpening here. Then I move to effect here and add a little texture here. Okay, so this is fine. I click OK. Okay, here. Then I will merge everything together. Okay, so this is before and this is after. This is before and this is after. So guys, this is how I retouch this amazing picture right here. Okay, before, after, okay. So if you watch this tutorial to this end, you are a pro. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button so YouTube will notify you anytime I drop a tutorial. And if you need my all-in-one retouching presets or the 6 shades of melanin skin tone that I used to skin tone this image, you can check my channel description and download them. Okay, so I'll see you guys in my next tutorial.